Hey everyone, I'm rocking my Canadian Death Race t-shirt. I just completed the Canadian Death Race. It's, for those of you who don't know, it's an 118 kilometer race with 3 mountain summits. You have 24 hours to complete it, and it's super fun, super cool. It's an iconic race in Canada. I highly recommend doing it if you haven't done it already. It's such a great community and such a great race. I've done it 4 times now. Anyway, I didn't hit my goal and I was planning on crushing it, and that's okay. I wanted to share my race experience with you. There's more learning, and I guess there was more to be learned. So, but I will say I still got my finisher medal. I finished on time, and that's what counts, right? So sometimes the goal doesn't go as planned, and sometimes you have to go to plan B, and that's okay. There's still lots to celebrate, and at least you are going after it. So I encourage you, if you have a goal and maybe you haven't hit that goal, that's okay, to keep showing up, to keep trying, to keep learning, to keep pivoting. As they say, sometimes we shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars, and that's all right. Sometimes it's important to look at the positives and look at what you have done, not what you haven't done. So for those of you who don't know, I just did a race recently and finished over the time limit in my 100 miler. And this was my second attempt. I was hoping to make a comeback. And when I say second attempt, I mean second attempt at crushing my goal. So I really wanted to perform at a different level and to really level up my game. And I've been working really hard on it. And I have upped my mental game, because otherwise it would have been easy to quit this one, because I did go through some stomach issues that really held me back. So just to share a little bit about my experience, I was on track for hitting my goal. I was pacing myself well. Everything went really well. And then all of a sudden, I had some stomach issues and I was vomiting a lot. I vomited so much, and the running community was so amazing at helping me out, offering me, things for my stomach, things to help settle my stomach. And a racer even stopped and sacrificed his finish time to make sure I was okay. There was a couple racers that did that. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And so I had this choice. I was faced with a choice. I had a choice to quit, or I had a choice to keep going. And I wasn't going to hit my A goal in these conditions. I wasn't able to stomach any food. I was throwing up quite a bit. And not that I recommend pushing through when you're not feeling well or putting yourself in jeopardy. This is just my experience and what I did. And I know my body fairly well, so I knew that I could make it through it. It's definitely very common in ultra running to go through some stomach issues. So had it been an emergency, it might have been a different story, but I knew that I could make it through. So anyway, after vomiting quite a bit, one of the runners went and got a quad to come get, went to go get a volunteer, and the volunteer was to come on a quad to come get me, to take me to the medic. At that point, my race would have been over. So when the quad came, I decided that in my heart, I was not ready to quit, that I needed to make it to the finish line somehow, some way. And there was no part of me that ever wanted to quit. I definitely had those thoughts, because those thoughts are natural, but you are really not your thoughts. And I invite you at any point when you feel that way to really consult with your higher self, the spirit of who you are, who you really are deep within. And once you consult with yourself, if the answer is a no, or if it is a yes, then you'll know. But when I consulted with my higher self, I knew that I wanted to finish. I knew that I needed to change my plan, that I needed to lose my ego. And the plan of my A goal of finishing under a certain time might not be realistic, but I was going to do my best. And who knows, maybe my stomach would have come back and I would have been able to make it. But what I did know is that I still had time to finish and that I could power hike. So most of the rest of my race was power hiking. I took time at the aid stations. I was able to get some onion soup for myself. The volunteers were really, really helpful. And I just did it. I don't know how I crossed that finish line on such little food, such little calories, such little energy, but I did it. I made it happen. And I consulted with my higher self and what my higher self needed. And I needed to do it. So sometimes when you're working towards a goal, you need to pivot. And if it doesn't go as planned, that's okay. But I invite you to keep going, providing it's safe to do so. And I invite you to really consult with your higher self to see if quitting is really what you want. And most of the time it's no. Most of the time it's to keep going. And so I kept going and I made it, and I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm going to take the lessons and I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep showing up, and one of these days I'm going to have a great race. I'm going to clean up my nutrition. I'm going to figure it out, whatever's causing my gut to turn. I think I have some good ideas, and we're going to make this work. We're going to make this happen. And if I can do it, so can you. And just keep showing up. Sometimes it takes a few times of learning. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned, but celebrate the wins along the way and just keep showing up. You've got this. If you need some help, I'm here. And definitely it's important to really work on that mental game. If I hadn't had a strong mental mindset, it would have been so easy for me to quit. The quad was right there and I was nauseous. I felt like I was running with a hangover, you guys. It's not fun. It was not fun, but I did it and I was able to persevere because of my mindset. I was able to troubleshoot because of my strong mental game. I'm really strong mentally. But that's all due to the hypnotherapy and all the work that I do. So if you'd like to strengthen your mental game as well, feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to help. Have a kick-ass day.